Please be seated. One more time. Good evening. Welcome to the 2018 graduation for Anoka-Ramsey Community College. First, to the graduates, the reason why we are all here. Congratulations on achieving this goal. We know this is just the first of many achievements to come. To the family and friends of tonight's graduates, we know that many sacrifices have been made along this educational journey. Thank you for your support of our students, and thank you for being here to recognize the importance of this event in the lives of our graduates. It is my honor to acknowledge and introduce the community guests who have joined us this evening. I would like to introduce you to Mike Wolf, our Anoka-Ramsey Coon Rapids Campus Foundation president. Mike has worked in the manufacturing sector for over 30 years, specializing in human resources management. He is currently employed with Vista Outdoor as Vice President of Human Resources based in Anoka. Mike holds a bachelor's degree from Indiana University and an MBA from the Rochester Institute of Technology. Because of his work in selecting and training people for Vista Outdoor, Mike has a deep appreciation for how education can enable people to achieve their life goals. He considers it both a duty and a privilege to help provide opportunities for individuals throughout the region to prepare themselves for personal development and community leadership. He has been with the Anoka-Ramsey Community College Foundation for the past 2 years and was recently appointed as its president. When not working, Mike's hobbies include photography, reading nonfiction history, and traveling. Mike resides in Maple Grove with his wife, Mary, and they have one daughter, Anne. Thank you for your leadership, Mike. It is now my privilege to introduce Minnesota State trustee Cheryl Teffer from the Minnesota State Board of Trustees. Cheryl is a former professor at Anoka-Ramsey Community College, where she taught in the nursing program for 26 years. She earned a Bachelor of Science degree in nursing from the University of Iowa and a Master of Science degree in nursing from the University of Minnesota. In 2014, Cheryl was honored by the Minnesota State Board of Trustees as one of the recipients of the Outstanding Educator of the Year. And in 2016, Governor Mark Dayton appointed Ms. Teffer to the Board of Trustees for a 6-year term. We are pleased to have you here with us this evening. Trustee Teffer.
Thank you, Dr. Peasley. Good afternoon, maybe evening, to the graduates of the Anoka-Ramsey class of 2018. On this pretty overcast May afternoon, I bring warm welcome from Minnesota State's Chancellor, Devinder Malhotra, and my fellow Minnesota State trustees. Minnesota State, with 375,000 students, 16,000 faculty and staff, and 54 campuses, is the 4th largest college and university system in America. A star among these campuses is Anoka-Ramsey Community College, with national recognition for student success and innovation. I think we should take a minute to acknowledge the leadership, passion, and creativity of this administration, this faculty, and this staff with us tonight. After 26 years here, I will tell you, you would never, ever find a better group of people to work with or to role model for your family and your children. There's just a handful of moments in life that are unforgettable. Donning a cap and gown upon graduation from an academic program is certainly one of those moments. Every graduate here has a story. Seeking a career path, balancing work and academics, and family obligations, and setting personal and professional goals. All of your efforts have been directed at a brighter future for yourself and for your family. But this celebration is not for the graduates alone, and it is not limited to this audience of family and friends. The people of Minnesota State support publicly financed higher education at Minnesota State's colleges and universities because the future of the state is here this afternoon. A highly skilled, versatile, college-educated workforce supports the state's need for future teachers, business innovators, research scientists, healthcare workers, and artists. It inspires innovation. It provides the physical and intellectual energy and the leadership essential to the growth and prosperity of the state through the 21st century. Whether your goal was advanced career training, an associate degree to begin a career, or an associate degree that is designed for further undergraduate and graduate education, your graduation is the reason Minnesota State's colleges and universities exist. So this evening, the trustees of Minnesota State, who speak on behalf of the citizens of the state, share with you our pride and offer our warmest congratulations. Thank you.
I don't know about you, but I like to have walk-up music when I give a talk. Welcome to Anoka-Ramsey Spring Commencement Ceremony. I'm honored to be here with you to celebrate this momentous occasion. I'm so pleased to see the tremendous support for our graduates. I haven't seen the parking lot this full in a long time, maybe other than the first week of class most of the time, but it's pretty good. Thank you for being here and recognizing the importance of this event and this time in the lives of our graduates. Thank you for being here. So before I talk about my walk-up song, I want to recognize a few important people, starting with our faculty. Would you guys please rise up? Give them a hand. Thank you. These are some of the best faculty that you'll find anywhere, and I know this because I have firsthand experience. I've sat through many, many classes with many of the faculty here, and I'm just awed and inspired. Also would like to recognize our administrators here that make sure this college runs smoothly. So administrators, please stand up. I kind of have the easy job just following in their footsteps. It works pretty good. And then any other staff that we have here, please rise. We have some of the best committed staff to helping our students succeed. It's just amazing. So let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. So does anybody know what song that was? Probably. Maybe not the younger graduates, but so I believe that we're on this earth to learn, to grow, and to pursue our dreams, and also help some others along the way as well. The song Dream On by Aerosmith is one that I've had, I don't know how many versions of the 8-track tapes, the cassettes, the CDs, and now an MP3. It's a song that I've listened to for many, many years. And I like the messaging in it. Talks about learning from fools and sages. You know, you've learned from some of the best sages around in our faculty. You've learned from their guidance, from their mentorship, and you'll continue to learn from others as well, as you have already in your life, maybe your parents, family, friends, and others that impart wisdom to you, and so that's an important step. And for you to continue to learn is very important, to connect with mentors, to continue your education. We've also, I think, learned from some fools over the years. No one wants to be that guy, right? We all have recognized times when we wish, or we're very happy that we are not in their circumstance. So another part of this song that really kind of hits home from me is you have to learn to lose before you can learn to win. And so we all make mistakes along the way. I've made a few along the way. My wife would say a lot more than I would admit to, but so learning from mistakes is really important, and I encourage you to make sure that you do that and continue to learn from mistakes. The other important piece to this song is that everybody has dues in life to pay, and to me this says that we all go through challenges. Maybe some tough times, maybe some bad things happen to us, maybe the mistakes that we make we think are a lot bigger than they are. And when we have bad things happen to us, we have this YouTube in our brain that keeps going over and over and over, predicting the worst possible outcomes and circumstances based on the event. And then we get another YouTube that is even worse and worse and worse about the possible outcomes. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can change your thinking. Think about setbacks, bad events, mistakes as an opportunity to learn and grow. And one thing I try to do, even though I'm not great at it, I'm still learning, is to try, and when something happens, to say, gee, I wonder where this is going to go. How is this going to help me grow and learn? Rather than having that negative YouTube video going on and on and on in your brain. As long as you stay positive, you can change that. And I encourage you to really, change the wiring in your brain from the negative YouTube videos to the positive ones. The other thing to remember is that when bad things happen, the sun will always rise tomorrow, even though it's cloudy and rainy today, and spring will come eventually. That might take a lot longer some years than others, but it will always come eventually. Remember, learn, grow, and dream on. Congratulations to you.
Good evening. To the 2018 graduating class of Anoka-Ramsey Community College, it is a great honor for me to be here tonight to congratulate you on behalf of the faculty. As faculty, it is our job to challenge you and to make you work hard. As students, it is your job to prove to yourselves what you can do. Tonight, we come together to celebrate our mutual success. There's no doubt that we asked you to work very hard for your degrees, but there is also no doubt that each of you rose to the challenge to prove yourselves. Friends and family members, we hope you can see the progress your graduate has made both in terms of education and in personal development. Please continue to support them as they move on to the next step in their adventures. In addition to having the privilege of offering these congratulations from the faculty, it is also my honor to introduce our Outstanding Student of the Year. Nikki Amaya Rapallo was selected to represent what is best about Anoka-Ramsey students. I've had the great fortune of having Nikki in 2 of my classes this year, and I've also witnessed the great work that she's done with our student groups. Congratulations, Nikki, and congratulations, graduates from your family of Anoka-Ramsey faculty.
Good evening, everyone. So Harry Truman, which is a president of ours, well, he was a president, he said that a pessimist is one who makes difficulties of his opportunities, and an optimist is one who makes opportunities of his difficulties. And I think this is true with how we look at our lives and the way we choose, and how the way we choose to look at our lives affects us and what happens to us later in our future. So when I look at all of you, I see people who have gone through different struggles than I have. And then I see people who are in different walks of their lives. We all have had different experiences and struggles from one another. For example, I am a first-generation American, and I had to navigate what being Honduran and American meant to me. I was the kid who was always on free and reduced lunch. I was never able to join after-school activities because I had to go home and take care of my siblings. So some of you can relate to what I'm saying, but others of you don't really know how to relate to what I'm saying because you haven't gone through what I have, and that's okay, because that's what makes us all different from each other. We all have different experiences. Like Harry Truman said, the victor mentality is better than the victim one. I could easily have took all the hardships that me and my family have gone through and decided that the world was against me, and choose not to further my education and, become a painter or a house cleaner like my parents are. But when I have noticed that when life is going good and then all of a sudden something goes wrong, it's because the universe is testing you to see if you're ready for the light ahead of the tunnel. With all this being said, I didn't make my journey alone. I had people in my life to help me to get where I am, and they deserve some thanks. I want to thank my friends for always being with me and living life with me and not for me. For example, if I told them, let's go bungee jumping off this bridge, they'd be like, you're crazy. And then they'd be like, okay, but let's go do it anyways. So I want to thank you guys for really, helping bring out the best of me and always being with me in my good times and in my hard times. I want to thank my cousins for always supporting all of my crazy ideas before I even supported them myself. I remember when I was little, I'd always be like, okay, we're gonna open a store. It's gonna be called One of a Kind. And they're like, yes, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna make the clothes. You're gonna be the business manager. I'm gonna do this and this and this. So they always believed in all of my ideas before I even did. So I just want to thank you guys for supporting me in every way possible that you guys can. I want to thank my aunts and my uncles for treating me and my siblings like their own children. I want to thank them for all the sacrifices that they have done for me, like always picking me up from school when I didn't have a ride to go from home or to school, or taking me and my siblings out somewhere with their family when they were having a night out. They always went above and beyond what an uncle and aunt are, so thank you guys. I want to thank my dad for always making it clear that it is my life and I should live it the way that I want to be happy because I'm the one living it, not him or my mom or my grandma or whoever it is. And I also want to thank my grandma for taking care of me and my cousins so that we are able to have the bond that we have. I want to thank my siblings for always encouraging me to do better and dealing with my mood swings when I'm stressed. I also am thankful for all the times we have spent together and for the bond we have. Love you guys. And most importantly, I want to thank my mom, wherever she is. Okay, there. I want to thank you for all the sacrifices that you have done for me and Eileen and Alex. For all the dreams you left behind so that I could achieve mine. For always supporting and believing in me when I didn't even believe in myself. I know that if I become even half the person you are, that I will be a good person. I want to thank you for the passion and your kindness and strength that you have and that you have given us. This one is for you, Mommy. So, I know that not all of you may have a supportive family that I have, but you all have supportive people in your lives and that have helped you to get where you are. And if you are to remember one thing, I want you to remember this, that the victim mindset will hinder you, but the victor's mindset will open doors for you. Congratulations on this milestone you have reached, and remember, class of 2018, this is not the end, but this is your beginning. Anoka-Ramsey College and community, an open door to open minds. Research, writing, service arts, all who seek will find. Anoka-Ramsey College and community, learning and discovery. River, bend, and prairie, fields that are ARCC.
It's my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker tonight. But before I do, I forgot to thank you guys, Melissa and Sam Bergstrom and our music students, for that wonderful song. I got so into it, I forgot to thank them. So can we please thank them for the great song they did for me? Every year I talk to Melissa and Sam about what are we going to do this year. So they're part of the creativity there. So much appreciated. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Paul Pribenow, President of Augsburg University. In 2017, Anoka-Ramsey became a partner of Augsburg when we together developed what we call the Augie Plan. The Augie Plan allows Anoka-Ramsey students an affordable, seamless pathway from earning a 2-year associate's degree from Anoka-Ramsey to a bachelor's degree at Augsburg. There are currently 20 Anoka-Ramsey students on the Augie plan. The leadership teams from Augsburg and Anoka-Ramsey get together numerous times over the past few years and will continue, developing a mutually respectful relationship that we hope lasts well into the future. I've come to know and respect Dr. Pribenow as a capable leader, a skilled communicator, and an active participant in his college community. Dr. Pribenow is the 10th president of Augsburg University in Minneapolis, where he has served in that capacity since 2006. Before coming to Augsburg, Paul served as president of Rockford College in Rockford, Illinois. Other past positions include Dean for College Advancement at Wabash College in Indiana, Vice President of the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, and Dean of the Divinity School at the University of Chicago. He has received numerous national awards and recognition for his service to higher education. I'm honored to have Dr. Paul Pribenow with us to say a few words for our graduates today.
President Hanson, Vice President Peasley, faculty and staff, family and friends, distinguished graduates of the class of 2018, it is a deep privilege to be here tonight to celebrate the abiding friendship and partnership between our institutions. And it's an immense honor to address this year's graduates whose passion, hard work, and great skills of heart, hand, and mind have brought them to this important milestone. Congratulations to each of you. We can't wait to see the difference you will make in the world. I want to begin with a premise. There is in the world's great spiritual traditions a universal truth that I would contend we all might affirm. That truth is this: life is hard. Now, once affirming that truth, there are really only two basic responses. We can choose to live as if the hardship is a reality that defines us, or we can look that hardship in the eye and seek to live in ways that defy its ability to draw us in. It doesn't take much effort or imagination to recognize the familiar dynamic between these two ways of living in the world each and every day. It also is not difficult to recognize that the world is dominated by those who believe that hardship defines us. Just read the newspapers, watch the television news, listen sometimes to your coworkers, even fellow students, neighbors. This is mine, don't take it away. I need more: money, time, friends, stuff. This may be yours, but I want it. Don't confuse me with your facts. This is what I think. Our lives are often full of hand-wringing, dark clouds, dire predictions. Might consider our current economic, social, and political lives. Pretty depressing stuff many days. Lots of whining, plenty of finger-pointing and blame games. But tonight, I want to argue that those of us who are committed to education and to the richness of a life well led must recognize that we have an alternative way to face the hard realities of the world. And we must stand up and be counted as those who will not allow our personal and public lives to be defined by someone else's reality. The 20th century British poet E.E. Cummings offers us this lovely poem that challenges us to explore how our commitment to education frees us to live on a different path and to invite others to join us. I quote, "Love is a place, and through this place of love move with brightness of peace all places. Yes is a world, and in this world of yes live skillfully curled all worlds. Yes is a world, all worlds," Cummings claims. Here is our challenge to imagine what it means to live yes lives in a no world. And that is my message to our graduates this evening. How will you live yes lives in a no world? But of course, it's not easy, because the fact is we do live in a no world, and our expectations are based on what it takes to succeed in that world. Toe the line or face the consequences. You promised us we'd have what we need to thrive. You owe me what I've earned. It's hard to say yes when everything around us seems premised on no. But what a rare gift it is for those of us who are part of a community committed to education to have this inspiration and challenge in our lives. In our communities of teaching and learning, we acknowledge the gifts we have been given, the gifts of education and community and service, and we embrace the challenge of what it means to pursue yes lives in the midst of a no world. So how are we equipped by our educations to live yes lives, and what might they look like? I want to suggest 3 simple ideas about our yes lives, ideas that encourage us to live with imagination and courage and resolve in the tensions between yes and no. First, our lives, our yes lives, recognize common needs and aspirations. In recent years, many scholars and commentators, from Robert Putnam and his Bowling Alone to Robert Bella and Habits of the Heart to David Brooks and Bobos and Bohemians, have pointed to the ways in which Americans have drifted away from doing things together, from associational lives. They claim we're too individualistic, drawn to lifestyle enclaves, more likely to bowl alone than with our fellow citizens. Still others claim that rapidly changing economies and technology mean that we are no longer the same country and should not expect that we still reflect a mid-19th century view of our lives. Think Twitter and Instagram and blogs, you know it all, not necessarily the means to face-to-face associational lives. Each day, though, those of us who have the privilege of being educated recognize that we work in organizations and communities with committed fellow citizens motivated by a common cause that offers us hope that we still possess and aspire to the inclination to serve each other, the impulse to generosity that serves as a counterbalance to our self-absorption. As we reflect on our work in community, what are the abiding themes that inspire and motivate us to give of ourselves, to serve each other, to be generous, to sustain a good society, to practice what I call common work? I believe the answer is grounded in the attention we pay to our common needs and aspirations. I'm reminded each day, for example, how easy it is to leave the work of meeting human needs to the good social service and health agencies in the community, or the work of peacemaking to those who take the time to be active and engaged. But I believe we are called to engage each other and to recognize that all of us bear responsibility for each other's needs and aspirations. It's a thin and fragile line that separates my needs from my neighbors, needs for safety, justice, well-being, a living wage, and so many others. At the same time, it's a wonderful and awesome thing that I share aspirations with those same neighbors, aspirations for education and beauty and community. Surely our engagement with each other is best grounded in recognition of the common parts of our experience rather than simply our differences, which tend to divide and polarize us. Yes lives embrace our common needs and aspirations and work together to ensure that, as the late Senator Paul Wellstone taught us, we all do better when we all do better. Second, our yes lives must be a labor of love. The connection between love and work seems to be absolutely critical to this vision of yes lives in the world. Our efforts on behalf of common needs and aspirations are labors of love. It's not work motivated by romantic love or even the love between family members. Instead, it's what the philosopher Aristotle called civic friendship, meeting each other as strangers and negotiating our lives together. We must love each other as amateurs, not waiting for the experts to save us. We must love each other with courage and imagination, countering the apathy and even hate of difference that often characterizes life in the world. Surely our common work illustrates the labors of love that sustain a community. The power of this idea is to consider how our education equips us for yes lives in the various settings that many of us occupy or will occupy. The organizations and businesses and neighborhoods in which you daily live and work and bring your education and gifts to bear. Perhaps it's a corporation or a business or a social service agency, a hospital, a school, an agency. Whatever the size or scope, organizations are the means by which we get things done in the world. Allow me to confess, as a lifelong organizational person, we need all of our glad and generous hearts to help organizations live up to their better natures. We need to trust that we can work together for the common good. We need to discern and embrace what it means to do the work of yes in the midst of settings too often shaped by the demands of no. But what can we do? I've recently been reading lots of literature on helping organizations to embrace and sustain a culture of innovation. That is, to create organizational cultures that are constantly looking for new and different ways to do things, to make products, to deliver services. You get the picture. I'm not surprised by most of what I read in this work. Make a plan, think outside of whatever box you're in, provide incentives for innovative work, hold people accountable for being innovative, pretty standard leadership work. But then I happened upon the provocative work of Mark Fetterman, a Canadian scholar, whose writings on innovation include this provocative suggestion. He says, multiply your mind by giving it away. Multiply your mind by giving it away. And Fetterman means exactly what he says. Be generous, be charitable, give instead of always taking, because when you are generous with your mind, with your knowledge and education and other gifts and talents, you help to create organizations and neighborhoods and agencies and churches and schools that are marked not by the scarcity of the world, but by the abundance of what's possible when generosity of mind and heart and hands and spirit is our guiding principle. How will you give away your minds in the organizations and communities you serve? I'm sure you have all of your own examples of how someone here at Anoka-Ramsey or in your workplace or neighborhood has multiplied his or her mind by giving it away. These days, I'm especially struck, for example, by the way that Augsburg students who run our Campus Kitchen program are illustrating the generosity of mind and spirit. Campus Kitchen's core work is led by students who collect leftover foodstuffs from our cafeteria and area restaurants. They then prepare and deliver more than 2,000 meals a month to our neighbors in Phillips and Cedar Riverside and Minneapolis. It's good and important work, but what I've seen in the past couple of years is that our students have not been content simply to stay the course. They focused our attention on the important role that food plays in our lives, as sustenance for our bodies, as fellowship for our community, as politics and economics in our neighborhood and world. They've multiplied their minds by giving them away to all of us, and the results are staggering. Community gardens on the edge of campus that bring together neighbors and students and children, a farmer's market on campus each week, and relationships with organic farmers from across the region, composting of leftover everything in the cafeteria and all over campus, and finally a campus cupboard serving our own students who are food insecure. Yes lives in a no world, food and justice in a world where too many people go hungry. Here are the labors of love that say yes, that equip us for the work of civic friendship, the work of justice and compassion, the work of community building, the work of citizenship in the world. Finally, yes is a way of life, a set of values, and what I call a democratic social ethic. This understanding of education and common work ultimately creates a vision of democracy as a social ethic. Democracy, in other words, not as a creed or a sentiment or a political system, but as an ethic that challenges us to balance individual needs with the common good. The genius of democracy is that the self does not go away, but it enters into relationship with others in mutual need and aspiration. My heroine, Jane Addams, the early 20th century social reformer, once described this idea of democracy as a social ethic with a simple image. She said, "We are all travelers on a thronged road, and our minimum responsibility to each other is to understand the burden we bear. In other words, to know each other's stories and circumstances. This is the basis of a democratic social ethic. It's not some utopia, but a way of negotiating our lives together in a messy world. As we all recognize, things will not always go well, but with a democratic way of life, with a deep commitment to each other, we will go forward toward a horizon of shared purpose that inspires and energizes our community." In my Lutheran Christian world, our yes lives are defined by a theological idea we call our vocations or callings. We believe that the divine calls us to lives of meaning and purpose in the world. We educate diverse students, most of whom do not share our faith commitments, so that they might discern and be equipped to live their callings in the world. These callings are both personal and social. They are a way of life that gives meaning to our individual lives, but that are never disconnected from the communities in which they are lived out. I believe that each of you has been called to live a yes life as you navigate your way in the world. So this evening, I challenge all of us to imagine and practice how our education equips us to live yes lives in a no world, with all of our knowledge and privilege, with all of the good we celebrate in our daily work every day in the wider community, all that we give thanks for. Our abiding challenge is to find ever more imaginative ways to invite and engage others in this labor, for it is work, and in this love, for it is also love. Our education calls us to say yes when the world says no, calls us to build stronger communities, make civic friendships, love our neighbors and our neighborhoods, live as if common lives really matter. That vision, that hope, that aspiration is our legacy as those called to live yes lives in the world. I say yes. What say you? Congratulations.
Will the class of 2018 please rise? President Hansen, I present to you the graduating class of 2018. They have completed all of the requirements for their respective degrees and have met the requirements as set forth by the faculty and the college. Student names will now be called individually to receive your diploma. You may be seated until your row is escorted.
Oh, there we go. Alexis Adams. Christiana Adebisi. Fatima Akiri. Rakaya El-Batat. Lee Asaman. Catherine Amayo Rapallo. Marla Anderson. Michelle Arnold. Veronica Arye. Andrea Atchison. Christy Ani. Ronnie Bartholdi. Celeste Bemis. Supapan Berg. Ben Betker. Lillian Bergman. Catherine Bia. Bushra Behe. Emma Bloom. Janet Borward. Sonia Basire. Melissa Browsen. Rachel Bray. Ashley Bringle. Max Brown. Shelley Bruce. Dana Bush. Derek Callender. Elizabeth Carl. Tenzin Chonyi. Shauna Clark. Victoria Conway. Brian Cortez. Jamie Costello. Taylor Sicinus. Brittany Davies. Ian Davis. Alexa DeFord Mason. Samantha Damer. Butch Ditburner. Erica Dorer. Anastasia Dulski. Bala Dwapu. Umera Jafarich. Okay. Muamera Jaferovich. Lindsay Eck. Alyssa Elliott. Okay. Holowewa? Holowewa, maybe you should pronounce it.
Olaoluwa Fatumbi.
Yeah, right. Vicki Ferris. Colin Fetters. Savannah Foley. Sarah Fralini. Lucas Fuller. Anthony Gibli. Ann George. Luke Gentle. Rachel Gertz. Caitlin Gosh. Anna Granland. Grace Gredson. John Green. Lori Goodham. Caitlin Hackbarth. Elizabeth Hackbarth. Nick Hager. Naomi Hagstrom. Nadine Hamida. Mahad Haji. Ava Hamilton. Emily Hansen. Sabah Hassan. Renshin He. Angie Heck. Ashley Heine. Amy Hool. Hannah Hool. Keely Hughes. Mackenzie Hurd. Munira Ibrahim. Okay. Brendan Janaston. Alice German. Barbara Johnson. Yeah. I think you're supposed to put them order. Don't mix them up. Luke Johnson. Noah Johnson. There. Zena Johnson. DeAndre Jones. Sorry, I got in a Johnson mode. Juniman. Katie Juniman. Oksana Karpenko. Aliyu Kanai. Come. Hussein Khan. Paige Kinnear. Peter Kinnear. Kaden Konzak. Bailey Karnarnlov. Close enough. Yara LeGrand. Michaela Lalonek. Hannah Lefaka. Amanda Lindsay. Ashley Link. Robert Lordzell. Megan Mikey. Elena Marion. Zachary May. Jack McClary Kurzal. Alexander McNeff. Naomi Muhammad. Naima. Zara Mohammed. Chokan Mongar. Brooke Morissette. Danielle Moriarty. David Munson. Daryl Murphy.
Annalise Tellez. Kathy Green. Allison Bastier. Megan Brandner. Mary Cordell. Kevin Gamble. Alex Jamau. Olivia Koskela. Katie Pernula. Maggie Sorensen. Weston Nelson. Matthew Ness. Comfort Gong. Ross Ninfo. Elizabeth Osland. Callie Atto. Corey Atto. Patricia Parker. Samantha Paul. Tatiana Petko. Andrew Peterson. Sudama Punsayavong. Alexis Pladson. Amanda Proctor. Minna Rajay. Jessica Rampersad. Jess Ray. Robert Revering. Ashley Reynolds. Matthew Richards. Alexander Richardson. Indica Risk. Lindley Roberts. Larry Edward Robinson. Grace Rondo. Sierra Rucker. Natalie Rudrud. Naima Salih. Duha Mott. Natalie Salmi. Jacob Sandal. Mackenzie Scheid. Hannah Shirley. Nariman Senna. J.R. Shutrop. Cody Simpson. Kamati Singh. Anna Sleepamori. Lori Smith. Allison Springfield. Alondra Stabler. I'm sorry. Amelia Stark. Emily Starr. Tell her I'm sorry. Stellick, okay. Kirsten Stellick. Daniel Stenberg. Andrew Stewart. Kirsten Straight. Wade Sullivan. Leah Zolga. Brenda Thielen. Katie Thorpe. Kylie Timperley. Sarah Toth. Hui Tran. Devin Baca. Gwen Van Horn. Jennifer Ventura. Carly Walker. Nicholas Walls. Eric Watry. Sala Wazwaz. Bridget Welsh. Rachel Westemeyer. Mac Wyzorek. Alexandra Williams. Spencer Woolens. Daniel Wong. Rebecca Ressel. Trenton Wyman. Diane Yang. Melanie Yang. Cassandra Lee Young. Fardoza Youssef. Clarissa Zybart. Paige Schill. Aisha Hassan. Geraldine Zia.
Brianna Brunslick. Alexander Chinikilo. Juliette Heiza. Eric Matson. Sonia Munson. Annette Nanteza. Lindsay Olson. Bethany Olson. Candace Flipson. Regina Pisarchik. Sam Speck. Amy Wolf. Maxim Yablochkin. Maxim Kulakowski.
By virtue of the authority granted to me by the Minnesota State Colleges and Universities Board of Trustees, I hereby award each of you the degree for which you applied and all the rights and privileges accorded by that degree. Graduates, congratulations on your accomplishments and best of wishes for the next steps in your journey. Remember to learn and grow and dream on. Please remain in your seats as the graduates exit the gymnasium. We invite you to find your graduate next door in the field house, and we'll see you over there. Congratulations, you guys. Thanks for coming out, everybody.